see that Jake Paul, in addition to fighting Mike Tyson, also spearfished the invasive lionfish on the reefs. That got the most attention just because of his following. My name is Deah Lieurance. I'm an assistant professor of invasive species biology and management. Invasive species are species that, they come from their native range, and they have to be transported in some way to a new area. And once they hit that new area, then they are considered non-native species or non-indigenous species. And when we really think about at what point do we call them an invasive species, that's when we're looking for that spread. They're spreading around and we're seeing impacts. 2019, globally, invasive species cost something like $423 billion. And so we're talking like big numbers. Some of the invasions, citrus greening that's being vectored by an invasive insect is wiping out the entire citrus industry in Florida. Science Twitter was a big deal when Twitter was functioning the way it was. We had a community there. And so I think it was just a really natural way to think about a place to pull the information. And so the idea was let's just see what people are saying. And, as the data came in and started getting filtered and processed and analyzed, these patterns sort of came out, looking at engagement, looking at who was tweeting what and what species were coming up. It would be impossible, to be able to track every species that's been introduced. We're talking thousands of species around the country. Not all of them are invasive. Not all of them will become invasive. But to be able to keep an eye on that kind of stuff is going to help. I think it's important work because most of the time when we're tackling invasive species, it's either too late, there are already too many of them for us to be able to really get rid of the entire species or population from an area, and identify those, maybe it's things that are coming into trade, or we've learned a new hitchhiker is coming in on commodities or goods. And so this methodology is really about trying to identify those species ahead of time. So then we can put those into practice, let them know what they're looking for, where to look for it, and what are the consequences if it does get in. Because we do sort of list out the potential impacts these species can cause.
Perfect.